the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Is that the nicest thing you can say about Tennessee right now?
There's probably something nicer.
What do you got?
What else can I say that's nice?
This is gonna be great. I can clip this, and Vol fans can never. You can throw it back at Vol fans whenever you're being too negative. What's the nicest thing you can say about Tennessee? Tennessee football specifically right now.
My favorite moment of like, as petty as I am, my favorite moment of the football season a year ago, and it was a miserable game experience for me because I am an Alabama fan and I grew up watching Peyton Manning and Tennessee beat us for 7 straight years and all that kind of stuff. But whoever timed up perfectly the field storming, Josh Heupel's interview, and as soon as the last word left his mouth, the start of Dixieland Delight, one of the best moments, I think, for fans in college football history, at least recently, and one of the best troll jobs ever. I thought that was awesome. I thought it was awesome. And they did it in basketball, too. I thought it was painful to listen to and watch. Because I don't know if Bama, when you, if you have a song with a significant other and you guys break up, can we listen to that still? I don't know if Bama's gonna be allowed to listen to Dixieland Delight anymore after last year. They will.
Do they claim it? Is it that big? I guess they do, because they were really upset when it was taken away and they fought to get it back. So I'm guessing they were they would not let Tennessee fans just take it in stride. I feel like that could be a cool rivalry thing. Is if you lose, you don't get to play it all next year. You're not allowed to do it until you beat Tennessee.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I like that. That's a good point. Also, yeah, it's like a feeder system right now not from Parkview, but they're getting 5 stars everywhere. So they're doing a great job, I think, for building the future.
What's fun too is now that Tennessee beat Alabama last year. Did you see this? Did you hear about this? Tennessee beat Alabama last year.
I did hear that.
Yeah. Well, as you know, as an Alabama fan, because you've been very vocal about Tennessee at Florida and the history of Tennessee in Gainesville. Do you know what the history of the Tennessee-Alabama series is?
No, I don't.
It's streak after streak after streak. There's no in between.
From
1972.
Say what?
1972. So if you go back to 72, Bama won from 72 to 81 every game. Tennessee won from 82 to 85 every game. Bama won 86 to 92 every game. Tennessee won every single one in the 90s outside of that 92 game.
No, there was a tie in 93. Bama won in 94, and then you guys won from 95 to 2001.
And then you had one blip there in 2002. Then Tennessee won a couple more. And then Bama's owned the rivalry since until last year.
Very streaky. Very streaky. I mean, it's
good news.
It's the two stalwarts when it comes to the premier programs in the SEC. When you look at the historical significance of national brands from the SEC, it's these two schools. I wish they would bring back the color rush, not where it's orange pants and crimson pants or something stupid like that. I would love to see this the color rush games they used to do in the 60s.
Yeah, they'll never do it.
No, it won't.
No. But it makes me excited because I do, like I've said in the pod, I think a lot of people, the common thing, and for a lot of people, I think your friend over there, Connor O'Gara, is it O'Gara or O'Gara? I always second guess it.
I don't know if I know.
I feel so bad.
It's he saved my phone as Connor OG, so I think it's O'Gara.
I think it's O'Gara too, but I always want to say Gara.
Okay, don't do that.
I don't know why. I think it's O'Gara, but he and a lot of other people, I believe, I listen to different people. The common wisdom is 9-3 and 10-2, being what Tennessee does, and they were 10-2 last year. I just don't think that's realistic. I think they either build off what they did last year, and Joe unlocks another dimension for this Tennessee offense. The defense is a little bit better. They were a top 20 rushing defense. If Joshua Joseph, James Pierce, they have a lot of talent on the edge. They have a lot of young talent. I think Keenan Pilley's going to be really good. Aaron Carter's going to play a lot as a true freshman. I think there's a lot of talent in the front seven. I think the defense is going to be pretty good. But if Dante Thornton is Jamison Williams for Tennessee, it's just a different kind of element. I think the passing game will be better. I love the trio at running back. And Joe's just different. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought for any other team outside of Knoxville.
Yeah. There's a path where Dante Thornton plays a drive and then he sits and then they put Squirrel in at the slot the next drive. They could just alternate Dante Thornton and Squirrel White. And it's just.
What's scary is because I'm more. My thing about Tennessee is the title of that video I put out is misleading, admittedly. Like, I don't think they're the most overrated team in the country. I do think that from interactions with their fans, I think they're a year away from being elite. Like, I don't know if they should be top 10 to start the year. I think they're a top 15, top 20 team for sure. But you did lose a lot of pieces. We haven't seen Tennessee stack years at like a not even elite level, but like a very good level in quite some time. And that's that has nothing to do with Heupel. And like, you know, but we've seen them have talent like a lot. My dog says hello. We've seen them have talent a lot in the past, and like, you know, I've seen Tennessee start out 6-0 in years with like Dobbs or 5-0, whatever it was, and going to the Bama game, like, you know, top 10 ranking. We just haven't seen them stack years over year over next. I think next year they're scary. Like, in moving forward, they're going to recruit. See, this is the thing that people don't understand about Tennessee that are like younger than me. And I'm 37, so I grew up in the 90s. I watched Peyton Manning. I watched Philip Fulmer. Like, that game against Florida was not only like, it was the third week of the season, first SEC game of the year, and the winner of the SEC was decided that day. Like, just flat out. But what people forget is Tennessee is a national, not just a national power, but they are national footprint in terms of recruiting. Like, they recruit the entire country. People, like, not just with Nico, like, they recruit the state of California historically very well. And they'll get kids from all over the country. But that being said, I still think they're a year away, and they lose a lot. Then the offense will put up a ton of points because that's what Heupel will do always, and they've got talent there. But like, the 9.5 wins is crazy to me, because it's like you have Georgia and Bama baked into that schedule, and then you have no room for error. Like, that seems crazy to me.
I mean, they're beating Bama again.
All right.
Like, they're beating Bama again. That was a game in the fourth quarter 2 years ago when Tennessee had nothing. Hendon Hooker was banged up. He lost like 4 teeth in that game.
What was the final score?
Doesn't matter. And
they lost by 24.
I mean, it wasn't a 24-point game in the beginning of the fourth.
I don't disagree with you, but what I do love that I think that happens more than more for Alabama than any other team in the country is the almost losses that people come up with really factor into where like that program is headed. It's like, damn it, the dynasty is dead because of this. They almost lost this game. It's like, all right, well, they didn't. And like, when you take a step
back, Bama fans love that too, though, on the flip side, where they're like, look, they did the almost game. It's like we lost 2 games by combined like 4 points last year.
That is true. They did.
They were like, we were actually, Nick Saban himself was like, I mean, if we're the betting favorites, I don't understand. Like,
that was the dumbest thing I've heard. To this, like, I don't know who was in charge of PR for him, but I was just like, who let him walk out in that December, like championship weekend on Fox? Whoever did that's an idiot, and I hope they don't have a job. I don't care how that sounds. I know in this economy, I don't want to wish that on anybody, but I wish it on that guy. Listen, and the bottom line is this: maybe Bama beats Tennessee if they play him a second time. I don't want to play Tennessee again. That was a nightmare. Like, because here's the thing: you can look at it any certain way you want to. You could say that like the 17 penalties is an anomaly, or the pass interference thing still bothers me on 4th and 5. I know that people feel like there's missed calls on both, whatever. But the bottom line is this: all of those things happened. You still had a chance to win. You had a chance to at least run the clock out in regulation. Maybe run the football once. Don't allow 43 yards in 2 plays to left midfield. All these things happen that you didn't do. And the one that stands out the most is that the greatest coach in college football history and the best defensive coach we've seen probably in college football history, and his defensive coordinator for 60 straight minutes just refused to make an adjustment. Maybe after the 3rd touchdown, you look at it and say, maybe that safety that doesn't ever use, like, we don't use him in cover, like he doesn't cover very well. Maybe we don't put him on the fastest player in the country who's going to win the Biletnikoff because of this game. Like that kind of stuff is kind of scary. And if you are being honest with yourself, which like I try to be, despite what my tweets might say sometimes, that was a close game going into the 4th quarter. I specifically remember tweeting from my old account, you'll never be able to find it now, was, are we going to effing lose to Tennessee going into the 4th quarter? Because it was a close game. I think they make adjustments. I think they're probably better this year. But I do think that Tennessee, like, I don't think it's this year, but next year they're going to start competing for championships, and it's going to be a nightmare for other fan bases.
Yeah, and I also think that they play a really hateable style because they step on your neck. Like, Missouri fans hate it, South Carolina fans hate it, Florida fans hate it, like Bama fans definitely hate it. Like, a lot of folks are like the Mickey Mouse offense, and they don't like the hash mark stuff. They hate it, but I'm like, I don't care. Tempo, like, stop it. If you don't like it, stop it.
I've said this since day one, and I don't care how this sounds. I like people that hate on Bama's schedule, or they hate on whatever this and that. I don't care. I don't care if they play Mercer in week 13. I don't care if they play Middle Tennessee State in week 1. I want to win, and I want to win every game, and I want to win championships. I don't give a shit, excuse my language, if they play Penn State or a team like 11 Power 5 schools. I don't care. I don't care. I want to win football games, and I want to enjoy what I'm watching. And Tennessee does that. They've done that under Heupel, and it's really, really like you can say it's Mickey Mouse offense. That Mickey Mouse offense put up 63 points on Missouri. I remember looking through the numbers on this, the Hendon Hooker stats from that Bama game. He is the only player in the history against a Nick Saban defense, no matter who the D coordinator is, to have, I think it was like 5 total touchdowns, 440 plus yards of offense, and like complete whatever percentage of passes. Manziel didn't do it. Cam Newton didn't do it. Like there's a very short list of quarterbacks who put up these ridiculous games. Like I think Chad Kelly was one of them. Probably Deshaun Watson, Cam Newton, like because it used to take like a historical performance. Johnny Manziel. That list, as you kept getting further and further into the stats, getting like more touchdowns, more yards, it kept dwindling down to one person. That was Hendon Hooker, and they're going to put up similar or better numbers.
Well done, nephew. Chase Thomas Podcast. Hell yeah.